What's up guys, macadii here, bringing you a brand new FU battle. Today I'm against a guy called Shivers, and I think I actually met him beforehand, but unfortunately I'd picked the wrong team, so I wasn't able to record this one, but obviously now I'm able to. So look at his team. He's got a Gorgeist Small, a offensive Meowstic, Gigalith, which is probably going to be his lead in all honesty, really. To set up the rocks and everything. I need to watch out with Whirlipede as well. It gets toxic spikes as well as spikes, so there may be a lot of hazard stacking going on. Looking alongside that, he's got a Frogadier as well, which is like a mini Greninja in this tier, really. It's not too much of an issue, I found, because it's not got that ridiculous speed that Greninja has, and there are a lot of things in this tier that do outspeed it. I don't know if you guys have watched my previous video about Greninja being banned and everything, why I think Greninja should be banned, but I do touch quite a lot about how its speed makes it overpowered. But anyway, well, as well as that, he's also got the Swordsbuck, which is considered one of the biggest threats in the tier as well. So in terms of lead, I think Trolling is probably the best lead here, especially with the Gigalith coming out. So I'm going to go out into Trolling. Even if the Swordsbuck gets swapped in, because it's immune to my Leech Seed, that's not going to be too much of an issue because I do have the bounce, and if he does try to go for SD or try and do anything cheeky, I can punish him severely for that. So he seems to be taking his time a little bit, but that's fair enough. He also does have the Gorgeist as well, which may be an issue as well, but quite often they do run Sub, Protect, Leech Seed, Will-O-Wisp. So if I do manage to get a Sub up with Jumpluff, I pretty much rule that set. He may have Shadow Sneak or Shadow Force, but I can quite easily play around that with Bounce, and especially with my Bounce being super effective. He does go out into the Whirlipede, which leads me to suspect he may be going for Toxic Spikes. Unfortunately, there's not a huge amount I can do, so I'm going to go for Sub. He also is Speed Boost, I've just realised. So he may be a Speed Boost passing set. I completely forgot that that's, with its new hidden ability, that's what they normally run. He does go for the T-Spikes, and he does get the speed up. I am just going to go for an Encore this turn, just to stop him from sending out those boosts. I'm going to also get a Leech Seed off on him as well, because with Baton Pass, they end up baton passing their boosts as well. So if it does get to a point where he does outspeed, he is then going to have to unfortunately baton pass the speed boosts, as well as my Leech Seed. So that's going to stop him doing any of those shenanigans. I have a very bad feeling though that the Gorgeist does come in. It's not too much of an issue. I am going to just try and stay in with Trolling, so I am going to go for the Bounce this turn, just to see what he's going to go for. Okay, so the large Gorgeist is in this tier. Okay, that's cleared up. So I apologise, I was wrong. I thought it was just the small Gorgeist. He has the Flame Charge. Ooh, I forgot that Gorgeist ran that. So I go for the Bounce, as he is going to probably end up going for the Flame Charge, which may make him outspeed me, so I've got to watch out for that. But hopefully a Bounce should do a decent chunk. He goes out into the Gigalith. That's not too much of an issue. I do get the power off as well, which is really good. So I'm going to go for the Leech Seed this turn. Start to whistle him down with that. If he does decide to set up the rocks, I am going to punish him with the Encore. I am aware that he is starting to stack quite a few hazards up on my side, but that's why I would quite like the taunt. He does go for the Rock Blast, so I need to watch out for that. In terms of switching, I would like to keep Trolling because he is unaffected by T-Spikes. So I am going to go out into my Go-Go Goat because unfortunately I can't really see him doing too much work here, and this is probably the only opportunity where he is actually going to be doing a little bit of work, considering he's Whirlipede resists his moves, Gorgeist resists his moves. He does go for the Stealth Rock that turn, which is a fair enough play. I'm just going to go for the Horn Leech this turn. Even if the Swordsbuck does come in, I am just going to go for a Rock Slide after that. Hopefully the combination of a Horn Leech and Rock Slide means I can come in with the Linoon and go for the E-Speed. He does go out into the Whirlipede. That is a shame. I think I am going to have to go for... Unfortunately, I don't think a Rock Slide is going to do too much. I am going to go for the Rock Slide though. I do want to just get rid of this Whirlipede because it's looking to be quite sort of very much his physical wall. Yeah, I think that's probably the best bet. He is setting up spikes, so I'm being hugely punished for this the amount of hazards. Unfortunately, there aren't many great defoggers or rapid spinners in this tier, so hazards can be very punishing. So luckily I have slightly whittled down the Gigalith and a Paradict, and I will have taken out the Whirlipede next turn. So I am in a reasonable position at that point. I think my plan for Go is to try and just get as much damage off as I can. There's not too much I can see because the Frogadier is going to one-shot me. Hopefully the rocks don't miss. They don't, so I think that's the end of it with hazards. I might have a look and see what defoggers or rapid spinners there are, because my team can very much do with one, especially when it does rely quite a bit on a reasonable amount on bulk. I think the Gourgeist Large is too slow, so I'm just looking to see how I could set up with Looney Tunes, because I think once this Gigalith is down a little bit more, I can actually take him out. The Gourgeist is also going to be a problem, so actually Go is going to be doing a bit of work here by actually going for the Rock Slide and whittling it down. The Flame Charge is going to hit me, which is unfortunate. Luckily, I don't think it's going to be able to do too much to Siren, so I am going to go into Siren at this point, and even though his speed is up, I don't think he's going to be able to do too much to me. In terms of things I can set up on, that's a little bit of a harder question with Linoon. I am going to go for the Dragon Tail this turn. I don't think this Gourgeist has got too much to actually damage me with, and anything that does come in is going to be taking a little bit more damage, which does make a difference. I am running Seed Bomb on Looney Tunes as well, so there's quite a good chance I will be able to take that Gigalith out. So it's just a question of what I can set up on, which is the $50 million question here, because the only thing I can think of is that Gigalith. Considering he's got rocks as well, I imagine he's more of a bulky set, and let me just have a look and see how much attack Gigalith has, because I always forget. It does have quite a high attack, which is a little bit of an issue. He does go for the Shadow Sneak, which is not going to be doing much at all. I get the Dragon Tail off, goes out into the Sawsbuck. Does put me in a little bit of a predicament, because I would have quite liked to rest, but I don't want him setting up. I think I am unfortunately going to have to rest, because a return and then the toxic damage is going to take me out. And if I do get the rest off, it will also guarantee that I've lost that toxic damage. You know, I won't get any more toxic damage off on me. He goes back out into the Gourgeist. I do get the rest off. I am just going to go for the Sleep Talk this turn. I don't think he's got too much for me, considering his best move was Shadow Sneak. So I'm a little bit surprised why he's brought this in. He may have Leech Seed, which will be a bit of a pain. But outside of that, as far as I'm aware, there's not too much, especially since he just went for the Shadow Sneak that turn as well. I am a little bit confused why he's brought it in. Let's see. He is taking his time choosing his move as well. So there's a chance. He does seem to have done a bit of a misclick. Hopefully I get the Dragon Tail. I don't. I just get the rest, which is unfortunate. I am going to go... It's very tempting to go out into Jack Frost at this point, because I've still got the Sleep Off on Siren, and that means that I won't be affected by the T-Spikes. And Jack Frost with the AV should be able to take this. Should easily be able to take the Ice Beam that's coming his way. I think that's probably the best bet, especially with the way I've got the AV as well. So there's no real way that I can recover damage. and especially being weak to rocks and grounded, I'm going to be worn down incredibly quickly. So this probably is the best one to switch into. So he does just go for the Ice Beam, which isn't going to be doing too much at all, really. He is just Life Orb as well, so that's good to know. I am going to use this opportunity to go for an Icicle Crash. I know he has the Ice Beam at the minute, but if he does decide to go for something else, there is a good chance that I will be able to live it, because if an Ice Beam resisted does that, then a Power 95 move will also be will only do 32%. So I've got a good chance of living that unless it's a Hydro Pump. Okay. From here, let's see. So Trolling is definitely not up for that. I need to save Trolling, really. Looney Tunes I need to save as well, because I know I'm not going to be able to take a hit. Alpha may be the best bet. I do kind of want to save Siren. Frogadier is the only thing that's getting in the way of my Siren, really. So I think Alpha is going to have to come out. I know I'm not specially invested, but the Eviolite will give me quite a bit of bulk. He isn't running the low kick as well, because he didn't choose to go for that, because that was slightly on my mind, but I think it would have been worth sacrificing Beartic just to find that out. So I am just going to go for a Tri Attack at this point. Even if the Gigalith does come back in, I am still getting damage off on that, and an Ice Beam after that should be able to take it out, I think. Or at least do a very good chunk of damage. Hopefully he does just decide to stay in. If the Gorgeist does come in as well, I'm just going to go for the Ice Beam on that as well. But I don't particularly want to go for the Ice Beam, especially if he want to go for the Hydro Pump as well. And the Charge Beam is just far too weak.
Inhale and exhale.
So he goes for the U-turn here. I do imagine the Gorgeist may come in. But then, even if it does, the Gigalith does come in, okay. So that really doesn't do too much at all. So, we know it's not AV or anything. But from here, I kind of want it out of the way. So I am going to go for the Ice Beam here. And this may be the only thing I can really set up on, because he has a huge number of offensive threats here. And there is also the chance he may get parried as well. Rock Blast is also his main stab as well, so that's not going to be doing too much. Okay, that really doesn't do much. He does just go for the Rock Blast. I think I am going to have to sack Alpha off, so Ice Beam is doing very slightly more, so that probably is the best move to go for. That Gigalith is really bulky. It definitely did go for the it went for rocks as well, so he does get the para. It doesn't make too much difference because I'm dead anyway. I am gonna have to do a sort of all or nothing at this point, I think, because Dragonair still struggles with Frogadier, and this is the only thing I can really set up on. So I am gonna have to go for the Belly Drum here. I know I'm not gonna be able to sweep his whole team, but I am going to be able to take a lot of his teammates out, hopefully. I just need to be able to take enough damage. Oh no, that's not going to be enough, is it? No. That was the only thing I could ideally set up on, which is a real pain. From here, I'm going to go out to Siren. And just go for the Dragon Tail at this point, I think. Because Jumpluff isn't going to be able to handle it. Luckily, Jumpluff isn't affected by the T-Spikes, and as well as Siren. So Siren, I'm just going to go for the Sleep Talk this turn. Hopefully he does get powered, and that gives me a chance to burn a turn of sleep. But if not, that's not too much of an issue. It would be nice to have another slot on Jumpluff as well, but it's a bit of a shame that it doesn't. I do get the Sleep Talk Dragon Tail off, which is nice, and I do go out into he does end up going out into the Gorgeist. I am just going to go for the Dragon Tail this turn because I know I wake up this turn, and I know it's not doing too much to that, but if I can start whistling it down at least. luckily, looking at this, Jump Off does outspeed everything as well. So, hopefully I can play that to my advantage. You just go back out into the Gigalith. I do wake up, and I can get the Dragon Tail off. Now that I'm in as well, I'm not affected by the T-Spikes. I am just going to go for the Dragon Tail this turn, because the Frogadier is the main threat for my Jump Off. And there's no way I'm going to be able to switch it in anyway. So, I am just going to stay in, and that does take me out, which is unfortunate. So now I've got to go in with Trollin, and I'm pretty sure it's GG from here. Because the combination of the rocks, I'm not going to be able to sub-stall him. So I go out into Trolling, I do go for the sub, but yeah, his team is excellent, and I do need to definitely... This has taught me a very harsh lesson to make sure I pack a Rapid Spinner, especially if I am playing in this team as well, tier as well. He does just keep going for the Ice Beam. Unfortunately, I am not going to be able to have enough. Actually, I might, because I can go for the bounce. Let's play this through. There's no point forfeiting. There's never really much point forfeiting, because there's always a chance that you can pull through. So I'm going to go for the sub hit and just start whittling him down. So he does go for the Ice Beam again, which is going to take him down 10%. I'm going to go for one more substitute, because once I go for another substitute, then once I go for the bounce should be enough to take him out. And as well as that, I've also got enough HP to actually put another sub up after that, and it doesn't leave me at it's sort of too much of a precarious position. I'm pretty sure it is GG from here, but there's always that slight chance. And if there's a chance, you might as well go for it. There's never any point rage quitting or anything like that, I find. You might as well play it to the end and see what happens. Sorry, I am rambling a little bit. He is taking his time as well, which, considering he's just got one button to press, I'm not too sure. He may want to switch out, which would be nice. Maybe he is considering switching out. I would appreciate that, definitely. Because if I do manage to... No, he doesn't. He does just click the Ice Beam. So from here, if I've done my maths correctly, I should have enough to go for another sub after this. So I'm going to go for the bounce, because I do outspeed. And as long as this bounce hits, I should handle this Frogadier. Which, considering it's a Frogadier, which is one of the main threats in the tier, and it's up 4 times weak to it, I'm not done too badly, really. So the Ice Beam misses. You don't really get to see those sorts of 100% accurate moves, like the animations for it missing. So I've quite enjoyed seeing those. So I'm just going to go for the bounce this turn, even if he does go out into the Gigalith. It is probably still GG. Realistically, it is GG, but if he does decide to mess up and start trying to set up and do all those sorts of things with anything at all, then I have a very good chance. I have a much better chance of winning. But especially considering he's got 2 grass types as well, I'm in a little bit of trouble. So I do go for the bounce, which takes him out. If the Gigalith does come in, I am going to have to go for a Leech Seed and hope that either he gets powered, or I think Rock Blast isn't 100% accurate. Yes, it isn't 100% accurate, so I do have a slight chance of actually being able to handle that. And as long as I combine, okay, so the Swords Butt comes in anyway, so it's very tempting just to go for the sub to see what he's going to go for, because any move of his is going to take me out. I am going to go for the sub just in case he decides to be greedy and go for the SD, which I very much doubt, but I have had battles before where people have decided to get greedy and try set up at this point, even when it's completely unnecessary. So I do go for the sub, as he does just go for the double edge. I am going to have to pray for a super hyper mega crit at this point, because I very much doubt a bounce is going to be taking out a 100% health Swordsbuck. But it is the only play I have. But yeah, Trolling's done good work this session. He does have the sub. Ah, that's a good play. Hopefully he goes for the SD this turn. That's the only way we can come out on this. That was a risky play, especially considering I could have been cheeky and just gone for the Leech Seed to give up. I don't even break a sub. That's quite sad, really. I would need a super duper hyper mega crit. So unfortunately I do lose this battle, but it was a really enjoyable battle, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you guys at the next battle. Macadii out. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep up my latest content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button below. Macadii out.